Welcome to the fastest minute in tennis. I'm your host, Get Energy. Thanks for tuning in. As always, this coverage is brought to you via the Doctrine of Fair Use, the Fair Dealing, and the Digital Millennium Mac. Giovanni taking on Taylor Fritz. Taylor Fritz is hot, ladies and gentlemen. One of the favorites to win this whole darn thing. That's right, he's scorching hot, but he ran into Giovanni, one of the best servers on tour, one of the best servers we've seen. 33 aces through 4 sets, ladies and gentlemen. Giovanni stormed out to take the first 2 sets in a tiebreak. I told you guys, this entire match may be full of tiebreaks. Both of these guys, amazing servers. Taylor Fritz, 24 aces. That's right, he's not worried about a darn thing. As he dropped the first 2 sets, he'd come back and win the next 2 sets. Now, winner take all, ladies and gentlemen. A 5th set to determine who will advance. Looks like Taylor Fritz is relaxing. He's not breaking a sweat. Back to the WTA. Anna Bondar, ladies and gentlemen. Not much to talk about here as Fitalina came out guns blazing. She might have to start her own bakery. Ons, the best shot maker in the world, not feeling good today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it was very hot and humid at SW19. Ons calling for the physio multiple times. But listen, guys, the first set would go to a tie break. Victoria Tomova, also hot, going through the motions as well. She would take the first set tiebreak. Both ladies would have 8 opportunities to break, but the advantage goes to Tomova in conversion. That's right, guys. Up 2-love in the second set. Ons cannot continue. She would have to retire from this match. Let's wish Ons a speedy recovery. One of the best shot makers in the world. If Ons is not feeling well, the tour is not feeling well. She's the heartbeat of the WTA. Everyone loves her. Petra Martic, Team Vegan in the building, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, taking on Diane Perry, the French woman. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? This was a very good match, ladies and gentlemen. It would actually go 3 sets. Overall, yeah, Diane Perry came to ball, ladies and gentlemen. 9 aces from the French woman. 78% of her first serves won. Now, Petra Martic was up early, but just could not hold on. Big Mama Asta. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The world's ranked 21st, taking on Cartel, ranked 51st. And we have an official upset alert complete. 70% of her balls in play. She would win 64% of those in the difference maker in this match. Cartel would win 51% of Ostapenko's second serves. Despite Ostapenko having 15 opportunities to break Cartel, Cartel 5 for 8 on breakpoint opportunities, consistent in the pressure point situations in Cartel. Yeah, that's right, guys. She backed up Ostapenko and she won this match. Donna Vekic does what Donna Vekic does. Look, I didn't make that up. Ask Donna's dad, and she dominated this match, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, straight set victory, nearly 80% win rate on the first serves. She would save all 4 opportunities Burrell had to break, 4 for 8 of her own. And she's headed into the next round. Yu Yan from China. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Competing with Qinwen Zhang for that top Chinese spot. She would run into a red-hot Ava Liz. That's right. If you're not familiar from her, she's from Germany. She's a defensive powerhouse. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, not too many syllables in her name. Doesn't matter because she gets this win in 3 sets. That's right, guys. 2 aces. She'd win 63% of her first serves, but 42% of Jan's first serves, 64% of Jan's second serve, just continuously getting balls back, forcing Jan to hit the extra shot, and she would make a little too many mistakes. Bernarda Pair from the USA by way of what? Can someone answer in the comments? 9 aces from Bernarda Pair, guys. But that's just not enough. That's right. 7 from Noskova, 85% win rate on the first serve. Too much variety, too low short balls. And Linda Noskova defeats Bernarda Pera in straight set. Now, Peyton Stearns is an NCAA champion. Yeah, but so is Bristine, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Bristine from Canada. She gets the job done when we're talking about college, but now she's on the big stage, the pros. And listen, Arena Sabalenka hits hard. If you're not familiar with Brandstein, she said she is the best conditioned athlete on tour. That's right. She feels she's in better shape than anyone. And in case you're not familiar, she's got a cousin that plays for the Dodgers by the name of Freeman. He's kind of big time. Yeah, but so is Arena Sabalenka. She wins this match. What about Peyton Stearns, NCAA champion? Speaking of, she take on Laura Sigmund. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not familiar with Laura Sigmund, she plays a lot of doubles. Yeah, she's a former WTA doubles, WTA finals champion, and she's got short balls. And mentioning the short balls, she would actually win this match by way of the short ball, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Peyton Stearns is very athletic and explosive, but when we're talking about grass, you have to be able to defend the short ball, and she could not do it today as Laura Sigmund. She wins this match outright. Varvara Gacheva, the French woman, by way of Russia, taking on Sasnovich, who's trying to climb the rankings again, ladies and gentlemen. Sasnovich is ranked 107th on tour, Varvara 92nd. With a win here, Sasnovich can get back inside the top 10 despite 13 double faults. Sasnovich is always in shape, guys. She's got range. She has a short ball, and I think her game is going to shine this grass tournament. Despite this 13 double faults, 6 aces, she would win 56% of her first serves, 42% of Varvara's second serves for most of the match, and that would get the job done as this went a long, grueling 3 sets in the hot sun. But Sasnovich comes out the victor. So Ciola Sierra, look, she's taking on Olivia Gadecki, who was scheduled to face none other than Greet Minin Headband Gang. However, ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Gadecki, solid player, guys. I talked about her game. Just watch out for her. This was a good match from start to finish. But listen, guys, I want to talk about Beatrice Haddad. That's right, guys. Taking on Yastremska. If you're not familiar with Beatrice Haddad, guys, she plays pretty darn good on grass. She's got a couple grass championships, a top 20 player still, despite struggling this season, but she's got some points to defend. She's going to need a deep run here to remain inside the top 20. Taking on Yastremska, Rebecca, ladies and gentlemen, the world's ranked 34th. Now, Beatrice Haddad, 5 aces in this match, 70% of her first serves won. She'd win 55% of Yastremska's second serve and the breakpoint opportunities, guys. 3 for 8 from Beatrice, saving 80% of Yastremska's opportunities to break. Beatrice Haddad plays her best tennis inside the baseline, and in case you're not familiar, she'll pounce on the second serve. Rebecca gave her plenty. Not good. Diana Snyder taking on Uchima. A different look for Diana. You guys notice something? I don't see the headband there. That's right, guys. Look, she wouldn't need it. This was a fairly quick match. Straight set win for Diana Snyder. 3 aces, 88% of her first serves won. She's headed to the next round. Maddie Patty taking on Gabriela Elena Russa. This was a good match here, but look, on grass, Madison Keys got one of the best serves overall, but on grass, her kick serve, very deadly. 5 aces from Madison Keys. She'd win 67% of her first serves, 51% of Gabby's second serves, and I don't care how many matches Gabby loses. If I'm starting a cup team tomorrow, Gabby's going to be on that team because she is mentally one of the toughest players you're going to find on tour. Layla's Camp, long head, don't care, ladies and gentlemen. Layla Fernandez came out guns blazing, and on this fast surface, she's a threat to go deep, ladies and gentlemen. 3 aces on the day. Layla will win 55% of Klugman's first serves for most of the match. 78% holding on her first serve. Long head, don't gas into the next round, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Klugman did go to the drop shots, but just didn't work today. Olga Denlovic, go that way, taking on Zhang Sui, the qualifier. Olga, she makes it to the second round of Wimbledon. She's happy. Where's she going? Olga's celebrating, guys. And what about Emma Raducanu? Emma Raducanu mentioned she does not think this is going to be a great tournament for her. What is Emma talking about, ladies and gentlemen? A lot going on off the court, but Emma Raducanu is big time. One of the best backhands you're going to see on tour, guys. Yeah, and she wins this match by brutal backhand. She advances to the next round. Isla Tomjanovic, ladies and gentlemen, rough day at the office. She blows a lead to Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, who's just warmed up. She played a lot of grass tennis. What about Vamos? Paula Badosa taking on the Brits. Katie Bolter. This was a good match from start to finish. As much as I love Paula Badosa, I told you guys, Look, Katie Bolter's going to win this match. Sure enough, she did. 6 aces, 68% win rate on the first serve. Now, Paula Badosa numbers were really good this match, guys, but it came down to the second serve where Bolter had a lot of success. She won 65% of Paula's second serves, and the breakpoint opportunities, guys. Katie Bolter, 5 for 10. Paula Badosa upset. She is eliminated. Elisa Mertens taking on, is that Linda, Linda? I don't know what sister that is, guys. I think it's Linda. Of course it's Linda, ladies and gentlemen. She's in the big draw trying to get back inside the top 100. But listen, she's got a main tour championship. That's all that matters. Elisa Mertens, 4 aces on the day. 80% win rate on the first serve. She'd win 38% of Linda's first serves. 63% of Linda's second serves. And boy, rough day at the office for Linda Favortova. Ouch, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at some matches for tomorrow. We have a packed schedule. We have some very good matches. Let's start with, I don't know, we'll take a look at Alicia Parks, AP in the building. She's going to be taking on Belinda Bencic. That's going to be a tough match. Now, listen, Belinda has not played a lot of tennis. We all know, just trying to get back healthy. Alicia Parks has a new coach. She looks very good. A lot of Alicia Parks' success, we all know, revolves around her serve. So I feel tomorrow, if she serves well against Belinda, she's able to get Belinda on the move once the ball's in play with her forehand, use her mobile ability. I think the weakness for Belinda, we all know, is it's her footwork. It's covering ground. It's making her defend balls. It's getting extra balls back to where she has to just make that extra decision. I think Alicia Parks should get past Belinda Bencic. I think with the fast surface, Alicia Parks going to have the power edge. She just has to play fast, shorter rallies, and I think she gets past Belinda Bencic. Now, we have a very tough matchup for Karolina Muchova. She's going to take on Wong. Now, they've split a couple matches together. Wong is very hot. But however, when you think of Wong's game, you don't necessarily think of someone that's like seasoned for grass like Muchova. Muchova's game it's made for grass, guys. It really is. And I think Karolina Muchova, despite, not being 100% healthy, the last time they played was at the Tennis Masters where Muchova won that in straight sets. But if you take a look at Muchova, guys, she's only won 5 of her last 10 matches, while Wong's won 6 of her last 10 matches, but that good run in Berlin, making it to the semifinal before losing to Ludmilla, yeah, a lot of people think Wong can win this match. Overall, I do think Wong's going to put up a good fight, but, I mean, this is a slam matchup. You got to go with Karolina Muchova. And what about Barbora Krejcikova? She's taking on Alexandra Ayala, the defending champion. We've seen Barbora have some early exits after winning a slam. Of course, she won the French Open and didn't do too well defending it. Alexandra Ayala is playing solid tennis. The problem here is Barbora is clearly not healthy. And Ayala's probably going to win the match to be realistic with you. I'm sorry. Ayala's probably going to win the match. But if Barbora, if she can fight through the pain, if she can at least be 70%, I think she beats Ayala. I think a 70% Barbora beats Ayala. But the problem is, I don't even think Barbora is that. When you have to withdraw from a tournament, that's pretty serious stuff. And I don't think Barbora's had enough time. So Ayala's probably going to win that match. But it's going to be tough, guys. Again, some good matches tomorrow. Coco's back. She's going to take on Diana Yastremska. Check out the community. I think it's going to be a tough match, guys. Diana's played a lot of grass this season. Coco just hasn't. And when you're on a surface and you're not warmed up to it, you haven't played matches, you can practice all you want. But practice, you can't really emulate practice, in terms of game speed. It's very different. You can get as many hitting partners as you want, but you really need to play actual matches, right? When you're talking about rankings and points and prize money, it's a little different from a hitting partner, People are playing for their livelihoods, their careers. And again, if I were Coco's camp, I would have let her sit out Berlin. I just think Berlin was just not the tournament. She did a long press run, a long media run, and I would have had her play Eastburn. I think the tournament before the slam, it's always the important one because then you can gauge if you go deep, that's great. If you don't go deep, then you can watch film and see what you need to improve in. But when we're talking about a week apart from having an early exit, that's going to be tough. But nonetheless, I do still think Coco gets past Ayana Yastremska. What about Bronzetti, guys? She's got a tough match. She's going to be taking on Jill Teichman. What about Jacqueline Christian? She's got a good match. She's going to be taking on Zeynep Sumnez. That's going to be a good match I'll be tuning into. There's so many matches. What are you guys looking forward to? Tennis in a Minute, the fastest minute in tennis. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more tennis coverage. Comment below what match will you be tuning in tomorrow. Be right back.